welcome to Perimenopause Simplified Podcast. I'm your host, Claudia Petrilli, functional health coach, integrative nutrition coach, and creator of the Hormone Rescue Program. This podcast is dedicated to women in their 40s, give or take a few sneaky years, tackling those hormone roller coasters. While perimenopause may seem complicated, it doesn't have to be. My goal is to break it down so you understand what's going on in your body, motivate you to be proactive about your health, empower you to self-advocate, and make you laugh along the way. Because you deserve to feel and look your best in your peri years and beyond. Now hit subscribe so you never miss an episode, and throw in a rating and review to help spread the word about perimenopause. Hey there, welcome to the show. Do you wake up in the middle of the night completely drenched? Do you have to sleep with one foot hanging off the side of the bed? Do you walk around with your own personal fan? Well, you are not alone. About 80% of women experience vasomotor symptoms known as hot flashes, flushing, or night sweats during the perimenopause to menopause transition. Vasomotor symptoms can have a significantly negative impact on your health. Data shows that women who experience frequent vasomotor symptoms, which is about 6 days or more over a 2-week span, also experience higher rates of anxiety, depression, difficulty sleeping, and impaired quality of life. Hot flashes and night sweats can last, on average, 7 years and can begin about 5 years before menopause. Now remember, the average age of menopause is 51, but it's not the rule. It can happen in your 40s or even your mid to late 50s. We're all different. So for some women, perimenopause symptoms can last up to a decade or more before cessation of periods. That is a lot of time to be dealing with these temperature fluctuations. Ladies, like I've said before, and I'm going to continue to say it, you do not have to suffer in this stage of life. There are solutions and there is support for you, but you do have to commit to your health. You do have to advocate for yourself and be willing to invest some time and resources in your health. So hot flashes, which are very common in perimenopause, can cause sudden sensations of heat, sweating, or flushing. And they can last from a few seconds up to several minutes. And night sweats are hot flashes that happen at night and of course can disrupt your sleep. And often you may lose too much body heat and then you feel cold afterward. It is super annoying, and it's why I highly recommend dressing in layers. Now, research does suggest that the severity of hot flashes and night sweats is associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. So while we may joke around about hot flashes and night sweats, they're not completely benign. So it is important to address them. So I want to let you know about what is happening in that moment. Your hypothalamus, which is an area in your brain that produces hormones, triggers these hot flashes or night sweats to release the buildup of heat in the body in response to an adrenaline surge, kind of like a stress response. So a drop in estrogen can be a primary trigger that causes a hot flash. However, it can also be due to low progesterone, low serotonin, or high or low cortisol. And this can typically be due to blood sugar dysregulation. That is very common in perimenopause, and why what you eat is so damn important. So how do we minimize these super annoying hot flashes? I'm sure you're not going to be surprised to hear me say hormone therapy. It is the most effective treatment for vasomotor symptoms. Hormone therapy use, specifically estrogen, not only reduces symptom frequency, but it also reduces the intensity by nearly 90%, usually within a month or so of starting. And then progesterone can also help. And I've said in previous episodes that we really do need to consider replacing both of these hormones in our perimenopausal years. Now, I want to give you some lifestyle changes to make, some food things to think about, as well as a few supplement suggestions so that you can take some action. So the first thing, and probably the most obvious, is to create a cool bedroom environment. You want to make sure your temperature is around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, at least under 70 degrees. You may need a fan, you want cool, breathable, light sheets, you want loose clothing, and you want to keep those adorable pets and kids out of your bed. They give off a lot of heat. The other thing to think about is what you're eating. Make sure that you are consuming 3 meals per day with a snack if needed, but you want to make sure that you are getting at least 30 grams of protein at each of your main meals. So at a minimum, you want 90 to 100 grams of protein per day. And you want to be filling up on veggies, okay? The protein and the fiber and fruit as well will support blood sugar balance. And I just mentioned how important that is. So you're going to want to aim for your ideal body weight in grams of protein per day, as well as 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day. Okay, the next thing to think about is you want to reduce or avoid alcohol. This can exacerbate hot flashes, and it can make other perimenopause symptoms worse, like anxiety, depression, sleep disruption, and that dreaded weight gain. It could be really hard to lose if you are consuming alcohol regularly. The other thing to consider is reducing or avoiding caffeine, which for some women can exacerbate hot flashes, and it can even cause anxiety or breast tenderness. So really examine your relationship with caffeine and maybe consider taking it out a little bit and see if anything improves. The other thing to consider is consuming ground flax seeds and soy foods. These are known as phytoestrogens, and they contain estrogenic properties that can act like estrogen in the body. Phytoestrogens do have a weaker estrogenic effect compared to the estrogen that we make naturally. However, they can still be helpful when a woman is struggling with low estrogen or wildly fluctuating estrogen, which is very common in perimenopause. So you'll want to buy whole flax seeds and grind them yourself weekly. You want to keep them refrigerated in a glass container so that they don't go rancid. And when I say glass, that is because we want to avoid plastic because it's an endocrine disruptor. What you could do is add 1 to 2 tablespoons of the ground flaxseed to yogurt or a protein shake. And then when it comes to soy foods, quality really does matter. So you want to consume organic, non-GMO, or fermented soy like organic edamame, miso, tempeh, tofu, and organic soy milk. Please avoid soy protein isolate. That's typically found in some protein powders and a lot of the plant-based meats that are out there. All right, when it comes to supplements, a few to consider are black cohosh. That has serotonin-like compounds that can mimic estrogen in the body and be helpful in supporting the low estrogen symptoms like hot flashes and night sweats. Another is bee pollen extract. That tends to help with hot flashes as well as sleep disruption. There is a company called Metagenics. They have something called Estrovera, and that contains rhubarb, which has been shown to reduce hot flashes. And then lastly, you may want to consider maca. That is an adaptogenic herb that supports the hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal axis. And that directly impacts your own hormone production and balance, so to speak. The brand that I like and currently recommend is by Feminescence, and I will link to that in the show notes. Now, while all of these things can help with symptom relief, like I said, hormone therapy is the most studied and the best treatment for these hot flashes, and it will also provide long-term health benefits and reduce your risk of chronic diseases. Now, before I let you go, I just want to let you know to be on the lookout for my 8-week live group coaching program, Perimenopause Made Easy. It delivers bite-sized education around the hormone changes that are happening in perimenopause and gives you practical action steps to take with an option to add an HRT consultation with me. So if you are considering hormone replacement therapy and you have questions or need some clarity around it, or maybe you started HRT and you need some help troubleshooting, this add-on consultation will be perfect for you. So that program starts October 1st. It is 8 weeks long. So make sure you follow me on Instagram and stay in my world so you know when the sale starts. All right, I hope that episode was helpful to you. I will see you next week. One of the biggest complaints I hear from women in perimenopause is that they can't sleep. I've talked about the importance of sleep, why we need to prioritize it, and ways to improve it in this stage of life. But besides all of that, comfy bedding is a must. I recently started using Cozy Earth sheets, and we, as in me, my partner Mike, and our dog Dawson, are loving them. We got the bamboo sheet set. They're super soft and light, so you sleep cooler. The fabric won't pill, it's sustainably sourced, and they give you a 10-year warranty. I am all about comfort in my perimenopausal years, and I try to get the best sleep possible. Since you're a listener of Perimenopause Simplified podcast, Cozy Earth has generously shared a 40% off exclusive coupon code. Head to cozyearth.com and enter Health Coach Claudia upon checkout. And if you get a post-purchase survey, say that you heard about Cozy Earth from this podcast, and they'll send you a free set of cozy socks too. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only. I am not, nor do I act as a doctor or any other medical professional. I am not providing healthcare, medical services, or attempting to diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure any physical, mental, or emotional disease or condition. The information shared is not intended to be a substitute for the professional medical advice provided by your own medical or mental health provider.